Welcome back to the channel. Today, we're talking about a simple Bates family post that somehow sparked a much bigger conversation online. Just days after Isaiah Bates and Sarah's private wedding, three familiar faces shared a lighthearted getting ready video. But instead of focusing on the outfits, followers started asking questions about something completely different. In this video, we're breaking down why one short reel featuring Josie Balka, Lydia Bates, and Ellie Bates suddenly turned into discussions about changing family dynamics, growing distance, unexpected closeness, and why Ellie may have stolen more attention than anyone expected. Let's get into the reactions, the comments, and the reason viewers think this post meant more than it appeared to on the surface. After Isaiah Bates and Sarah's wedding took place largely out of the public eye, members of the Bates family slowly began sharing small glimpses from that important weekend. There were no lengthy wedding recaps, no detailed posts about the ceremony, and very few official moments released immediately afterward. Instead, one unexpected video from Josie Balka, Lydia Bates, and Ellie Bates suddenly caught followers' attention. Rather than posting anything directly about the wedding itself, the three shared a playful getting ready video before heading to a formal event. What seemed like a harmless pre-event reel quickly turned into something much bigger once viewers started paying attention to who was together and what that might say about the family dynamic. The collaborative video opened with the question, "You guys do everything together?" before cutting to a simple answer, "Yes." Seconds later, Josie, Lydia, and Ellie transitioned from casual loungewear into their finished formal looks. The caption stayed just as short, "Serving Sisterhood." There was no mention of Isaiah, no reference to Sarah, and no explanation about where they were going. Still, because the timing lined up closely with Isaiah and Sarah's private wedding celebrations, many followers immediately connected the dots. The reel ended up becoming one of the few behind-the-scenes moments shared from that weekend, even without ever saying so directly. At first, attention centered around the outfits. Lydia appeared in a warm orange satin dress with a more modern silhouette. Josie leaned into the elegant minimalist style followers already associate with her, and Ellie wore a blue floral dress that gave her a softer, younger look. The trio looked coordinated without matching, comfortable around each other, and genuinely excited. But longtime Bates followers rarely stop at discussing dresses and makeup. Within hours, the conversation moved somewhere else entirely. One of the first things people started debating was the caption itself, "Serving Sisterhood." For some viewers, it was nothing more than a playful way to highlight how close they are. Others read it differently and began connecting the post to a group of Bates women who seemed to appear together more frequently in lifestyle content, weddings, and social events. The phrase "influencer clique" started showing up in online discussions, with some suggesting certain sisters and sisters-in-law now seem especially close compared to others. That is where Katie Clark unexpectedly entered the conversation, despite not appearing in the reel at all. Not because anyone shared evidence of tension, but because many longtime followers still remember how close Katie and Josie once appeared. Over the years, the two were often linked together by viewers, and some fans still automatically associate one with the other. So seeing Josie in a fun, coordinated post alongside Lydia, and Ellie led a few people to question whether those dynamics have shifted behind the scenes. Comments speculating about Katie being left out surfaced quickly, although many others pushed back almost immediately. Several followers pointed out that a family with 19 siblings naturally forms different groups depending on life stage, marriage, location, and schedules. Still, the fact that Katie's name repeatedly came up revealed something bigger. Bates followers continue paying close attention to who spends time together, who appears less often, and which relationship seems strongest at any given moment. Even a lighthearted reel before a wedding ended up reopening those conversations. While theories about closeness and friend groups spread, the person who arguably drew the most attention was not Josie or Lydia. It was Ellie Bates. Multiple comments admitted they barely recognized her at first. Others said she suddenly looked much older than they expected or seemed dramatically different compared to previous family appearances. Reactions like that are common in large reality TV families where younger siblings grow up in front of viewers for years. Ellie has long been viewed as one of the younger Bates daughters, but this reel felt different. She did not come across as the little sister tagging along. Instead, she appeared alongside Josie and Lydia as an equal in a polished, trendy social media post centered around fashion and sisterhood. For longtime followers, that shift stood out. Many seem to realize in real time that Ellie is slowly entering a different phase and no longer fits the image people held onto from years ago. Meanwhile, Lydia received a wave of positive comments focused almost entirely on her outfit choice. Her orange satin dress was repeatedly praised, with some saying it was one of her strongest looks in recent family events. A few followers even joked that Lydia finally stepped away from the neutral color palette people often associate with her. Compared to other conversations filled with speculation, the reaction to Lydia remained fairly straightforward. Many simply thought she looked great. Outside of discussions about friendships and fashion, another familiar topic resurfaced. Some comments revisited ongoing conversations about how much the younger generation of the Bates family has changed over time. Dress cuts, exposed shoulders, and more modern styling choices led certain viewers to compare today's appearances with the family's image years ago. It is not a new discussion, but major family events tend to bring it back. Isaiah and Sarah's wedding weekend ended up doing exactly that. What makes everything more interesting is that Isaiah and Sarah's wedding itself stayed relatively private. When very little from the main event becomes public, people naturally focus on the smaller details surrounding it. A short getting ready reel suddenly received more discussion than parts of the wedding itself. In situations like this, even simple content can become fuel for bigger assumptions, because followers try piecing together a larger story from limited glimpses. Despite all the theories, most comments eventually landed somewhere more reasonable. Many viewers agreed the video was probably exactly what it looked like: three Bates women enjoying time together before an important family occasion. Not every group photo means shifting relationships, and not every caption carries hidden meaning. But at the same time, the reaction proved something else. Interest in the Bates family's internal dynamics remains incredibly strong. Followers still pay attention to who seems closest, who is changing, and how relationships evolve over time. In the end, serving Sisterhood may have been intended as nothing more than a playful caption before Isaiah and Sarah's wedding celebrations. Yet, as often happens with longtime public families, small moments rarely stay small. Some viewers saw fashion, others saw sisterhood, and a surprising number saw possible changes in the family's social circles. What started as a few seconds of getting ready content ended up reopening bigger conversations about shifting friendships, growing up, and which Bates relationships followers believe are evolving behind the scenes. Whether any of those theories hold truth or not, one thing is clear: people are still paying close attention to every small glimpse this family shares. And that's a wrap on this latest Bates family update. What do you think about Josie, Lydia, and Ellie's serving sisterhood video? Was it simply three family members having fun before a wedding? Or do you think followers are noticing real shifts in who seems closest these days? And were you surprised by how much attention Ellie received in the comments? Share your thoughts below, because as always, the conversations around the Bates family rarely end with one post. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next update.